Kotor Montenegro might not be on your radar, but it should be. It was one of the most scenic stops on my Virgin Voyages Mediterranean cruise. Here's what my day looked like. Waking up to these views from my balcony, I knew Kotor was going to be something special. What appeared to be a gloomy day with the rainbow, as you can see, ended up to be a hot summer day. So for this port, we did book an excursion because it is a tender port, but of course we went to breakfast in the Galley first, got some French toast and some fruit, as well as this egg white frittata, bacon hash brown, and some blueberry pancakes. Then we went to the red room and waited until our tender boat was ready. If you've taken a tender boat in a location like Cabo San Lucas, then you know that there are so many different tender boats going to and from the ship all day. I actually realized that these boats were our lifeboats. That's why they have the Resilient Lady name on there. So that is one thing to keep in mind, because when you come back to the ship, it definitely took a little bit longer, especially once it got hotter in the day. So now that we were off the tender boat, you can see the beautiful scenery in Montenegro. We were headed to our boat because we booked a Kotor Montenegro by land and sea with Our Lady of the Rocks tour. So that is where we were heading. While you look at the scenery, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Montenegro because I personally didn't know much about the country. I don't know about you, but I've never met anyone from Montenegro or someone that has visited Montenegro. So when I saw that it was on the itinerary, I was very excited to visit. Kotor is a small coastal town in Montenegro, which is a beautiful country in Southeast Europe, which is bordered by Croatia, Serbia, and Albania. Montenegro means Black Mountain, and once you see the dramatic cliffs and rugged peaks, you'll understand why. It sits along the Adriatic Sea, and it is known for its stunning bay, medieval old town, and that epic mountain backdrop. Think stone streets, fortress walls, and some of the most scenic sailing you'll ever experience on a cruise. One of the most iconic sites near Kotor is Our Lady of the Rocks, and yes, it's actually built on an artificial island. Legend has it is that sailors found an icon of the Virgin Mary on a rock in a bay, and over centuries they kept dropping stones and sinking old ships to create this island. Today, it's home to a small church and museum filled with gifts from sailors who believe the Virgin Mary protected them at sea. The inside is absolutely beautiful, covered in paintings, silver plaques, and even a tapestry that took 25 years to make. After visiting Our Lady of the Rocks, we spent some time walking through the town of Perast. It's a small, quiet village, but absolutely stunning, right on the edge of the water with old stone buildings and mountain views in literally every direction. There are a few local shops, waterfront restaurants, and cafes where you can sit, relax, and take in the view. It's not super touristy, which makes it the perfect place to slow down and enjoy the charm of the Bay of Kotor. Now, this is when I realized how hot it was, because at first, as you saw, it was pretty gloomy as we were heading on the tender boat, then on the boat to Our Lady of the Rocks, but at this point, we were burning up. One of the coolest surprises in Perast was this small lighthouse right by the edge of the water. There was a local standing at the entrance charging just €1 per person to go up, and honestly, it was worth every cent. It's a little tucked away near the far end of town, so keep an eye out for a narrow path that leads to it. The climb itself is short but steep and a bit narrow inside, so be prepared to squeeze your way up. If you don't have good balance, please pay attention. Don't record like I did, because I'm 5'9", so if you're taller than me, you may bump your head. I had to duck down, as you can see, so definitely just pay attention and take it slow as you're going up this lighthouse. But once you get to the top, the panoramic views of the bay, the town, and the mountains are absolutely unreal. The view is just breathtaking. Right below, you can see the stone rooftops of Perast, quiet little streets, and boats gently floating in the harbor. Out in the distance, there's Our Lady of the Rocks and St. George Island, two tiny islands that look like they're floating in the middle of the bay. And beyond that, mountains rise up on every side, wrapping around the water like a natural fortress. It's peaceful, picture perfect, and honestly one of the best views I've ever had from a cruise port. So we climbed the top of this bell tower in Montenegro, and here is the view. Beautiful, beautiful. Go all the way around. Here's another view. Beautiful. After getting down slowly, we roamed the streets a little bit before meeting back up with our tour so that we can get on the bus for the rest of the tour.
Per day double room with breakfast in the high season, so it's swimming season, the prices are the highest. It can be even cheaper in lower season. We are still having good quality for affordable prices.
Although we enjoyed the tour, we were burning up at this point. Like I said, the morning was pretty cool, nice and breezy, but we had to leave the tour early so that we can get back to the ship, change, and get some food. So to get back to the ship, you're going to take this escalator down under the street to get in line, which I will say we were very hot. So it felt like forever. I would say we maybe waited 15 minutes for the tender boats. A lot of people were kind of like pushing and cutting because they were also very hot, but we made it back on the ship. We went to the galley, and here you can see the burger of the day. I actually didn't end up getting that. I ended up just getting a salad with some fries. This was a chicken Caesar salad, and they laid it on. Like, you can see it was a lot of food. And he got some coconut shrimp, mashed potatoes, and some green beans from the other part of the galley. And y'all, you would have never guessed who we ran into. We saw Flavor Flav. Yes. Flavor Flav was on our sailing. I was like, he looks familiar. So my husband went to go talk. And then I went to my first workout class of the cruise. If you're someone who likes to stay active, even on vacation, Virgin Voyages is honestly a great fit for you. I signed up for the bungee workout class, and it was such a fun, high-energy way to move my body while still enjoying the cruise. Classes like this are held in the Build and Balance studio inside the Beat Complex, which is Virgin's dedicated fitness space on board. The room is super bright with mirrors on both sides and these massive floor-to-ceiling windows that let in natural light and give you incredible views while you work out. Whether you're into strength training, cardio, or trying something new like this bungee fitness class, there's something for every fitness level, and I definitely recommend it for people who like to keep moving while they travel. Not only do they have this bungee class, but they also have a cycling studio where they'll have cycling classes multiple times throughout your sailing. They'll have a HIIT class, which is no joke. I took that on my first Virgin Voyage cruise, and it was no joke. Now, I was super sore the rest of the cruise, so I would not recommend going too hard so that you can still enjoy your cruise. But let's say you do get sore, you can obviously go in the hot tub or get you a massage at the spa. But this class was so fun. It was pretty challenging, actually. It was like a resistance-based workout. And then I went to the galley to grab some fruit, got me some pineapple and some watermelon. Okay, so I completed the bungee class. It was really fun. It was a resistance workout, but I definitely recommend you booking it. Try booking it as soon as you board your Virgin Voyage because they sell out really quickly. It is free, but there are a limited amount of spots available, so definitely check that out. After walking on the track and just cooling off from the workout, I was taken aback by the beautiful views. Like I said, this is one of the most stunning places I've ever visited in my life. And it's just literally so picturesque. It looks like the wallpaper you see on a computer when you buy it. And then, of course, you can see the Virgin logo right there. But guess what it was time for? It was, of course, time for ice cream. I don't even eat ice cream regularly at home. But when you're on a cruise ship and you're at Virgin Voyages looking to ice cream, there's just something about it that makes you want to get it every single day. So here I was, of course, getting some ice cream, and then we went to the Loose Cannon bar to play some battleships. This bar is next to the arcade area where they do like a lot of the trivias, the puzzle, speed puzzle challenge. So there are a lot of bars on board, but this is called the Loose Cannon bar. And then after playing some rounds of Battleship, it was time to get active again. The basketball court was empty. So sometimes it's a basketball court and then sometimes they'll put up the net for pickleball. But here I am just trying. I clearly was not gifted in this sport, but you know, I'm on the cruise, so I can do what I want. And then after that, we sadly were sailing away from Montenegro, but then it was time for dinner. The dinner restaurant of the day was Pink Agave. Now, Pink Agave was my #2 favorite restaurant on Virgin Voyages, but as I mentioned in my other Virgin Voyage video, that Razzle Dazzle has moved up in the ranks. It is now my second, so Pink Agave is #3, but I still love this restaurant. I always get the shrimp. You should definitely try it. And then they have several different appetizers. Their guacamole is very good. It has pomegranate seeds in it. And then they have the corn. They have the papas con chorizo. And then you can get these enchiladas. This is the chicken enchilada. And this time around, we both got the steak for our main course. And of course, I forgot to mention that we also got some margaritas. But stay tuned for the next video. Our next port is Dubrovnik, Croatia. Game of Thrones lovers, you will love this cruise port. You gotta check it out. So stay tuned for my next video.